Welcome to World Cup Nomad. I am the World Cup Nomad. Today we are talking about, and I apologise for not posting for a few days. I had to go back to London. That's 6 hours each way. So that's 6 hours of not editing audio. But we're talking about 16-14 Australia over New Zealand on Saturday. I got Nick Campton here from the ABC, Man on Tour. How's the tour treating you?
Very well, very well. A little bit too well, if you know what I'm saying, Mascord. But we're at the business end now, so I just got to tighten the belt a little bit more and push through to the finish.
There's a visual there that I don't. There's somewhere I don't want to go. So we take the listeners back to Saturday. We all had to find our way over to Elland Road. There was a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of anticipation, a lot of drinking. I think a lot of drunk people there. Not us. We were working.
No, very professional.
But it was a fantastic game of footy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It really was. Through this whole tournament, we've been talking about what it's going to look like when Australia finally gets tested, and we finally saw what happens when they are tested, when somebody comes out and really puts it on. I thought New Zealand were fantastic through nearly the entire first half, and they led at half-time. Australia's 2 tries came from individual brilliance, not from sort of replicated plays or anything like that. Josh Addo-Carr's try was amazing, but they couldn't have. I don't think Australia could score a try like that if they were trying to, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a prayer of a kick from Ben Hunt, and Addo-Carr was there to answer it. And then Valentine Holmes' try, Jack White, spinning out of control. He doesn't know if there's a hand in him or not. He sort of just throws and hopes, and it happens to be there, And it was the first time where Australia has had to sort of rely on that kind of brilliance to win games, when their structures and their patterns and all that weren't really doing the job, because the Kiwis, through their physicality and intensity, really put it on them, And while Australia did come through and get the win in the end, I think it does show that this Australian side isn't invulnerable. They do have things you can attack, they do have things you can go after, and New Zealand, even though they didn't get there, really gave them a bit of a scare.
I've seen some interesting commentaries on the game from various people. One person I spoke to on Saturday, honestly don't remember who it was, not protecting them or anything, but said that the Australians were always within themselves and they were never really endangered. What do you think of that observation?
I don't think that's true at all. I think you could especially feel that at the ground. Like you could feel the intensity, the aggression of the attack of the New Zealand forwards. Nelson Asofa-Solomona and Isaiah Papali'i in particular were really putting it on the Australians. And Australia, for a while, didn't really quite know what to do with themselves. And they got up in the end. The winning try to Cam Murray ended up, it's a really soft one. It's an under-10s try. It's just New Zealand switching off for 1 second. But against a team as good as Australia, if you switch off for 1 second, you may as well have not shown up at all.
Yeah.
So... And you could feel when New Zealand was attacking late, you could feel, that they were going close and they had their chances and all that. Jordan Rapana made a great break and had Charles Nickel-Klukstad in support. If he had someone a little bit speedier, maybe New Zealand score that try late and win the game. And the decision that I keep coming back to is Jerome Hughes, who was great on the night, kicking on tackle 2, I think it was, in the 77th minute, in what ended up being New Zealand's last kind of attacking chance, So I think anyone who thinks that Australia always had this one in the bag or always had another gear to go to is kind of kidding himself. So mystery person, whoever you are.
I don't know.
Whoever you are, I hope you're listening, because you're incorrect.
What about the idea that, and our friend Andrew Webster wrote this, that the Aussies are still clunky and kind of unfamiliar with each other, and actually in that game that was evident. What do you think of that?
Well, that's the other side of the coin to the system that Mal Meninga's sort of been going through, isn't it? Like he's kind of given everybody every chance to really prove themselves, prove how good they are, and really stand up and take each individual spot. So that creates competition for spots, and competition's good. It brings out the best in everybody, because everybody has to rise to a new level to overcome somebody else. But the trade-off for that is the guys just don't get that much time playing together, So Nathan Cleary and Cameron Munster have only played, I think, 2.5 games together, and Ben Hunt's only had a couple of games with Cleary, and Isaiah Yo's only had a couple of games with Munster as well, So those combinations don't just happen. They don't build overnight. No matter how hard you train or how much time you spend together on the training paddock. Like it gets forged in fire. It gets built out on the field, So maybe with this last game under their belts, we'll start to see them really clicking together. But maybe we won't. So, but that's the gamble that Mal Meninga made when he opted to sort of run his squad this way.
Yeah, and have no one in 7 or give 7 to a prop or whatever. I might have said Saturday. I obviously meant Friday. On Saturday we were down to London for England and Samoa, and we'll do that in a separate episode. Lovely to have you on the show for the first time, Nick. And if you listen, I'll have one listener.
Anytime, Masky. Always happy to help.